Good evening, everyone. At the outset, I must thank organizers of IMICon 2014 for inviting me to speak on this topic of cardiovascular risk management. As you all know, cardiovascular disease is the biggest killer all over the world. It accounts for almost 30% of the deaths, and ischemic heart disease itself represents around 13% of the deaths, followed by cerebrovascular diseases, hypertension heart diseases, and as well as rheumatic heart diseases. This data is from a recent article in the Journal of American College of Cardiology, 2014 August. So, why there is an increase in the incidence of CVD, cardiovascular disease in India? It is because of socio-economic factors like globalization and urbanization. Although we have improved healthcare in all these days, we have unhealthy diet patterns, reduced physical activity, stress and aging all contribute to increased incidence of cardiovascular disease. They all lead to diabetes, dyslipidemia, hypertension, obesity, and leading to increasing number of the cardiovascular diseases. Indians are characterized by earlier onset of coronary disease as compared to Western population, and they have higher mortality because of these diseases. Hypertension is an important risk factor for coronary disease. About 50% of us 50% of the patients do not have treatment change despite persistently elevated BP. We have a tendency to treat BP only when it is very high, like more than 150, 160. And very few of our patients will have normal BP less than 140 millimeter of mercury. Even in developed country like United States, many of the patients will not be having proper control of blood pressure despite advance in the treatment of hypertension. This was a premier study which was published in the American Heart Journal in 2006. This is regarding compliance of the drugs after an episode of MI. More than 33% of the patients discontinue their medications in 1 month after an index event. This will be more in our population. And once they discontinue the medications, there will be sharply increase in the mortality because of the increased incidence of coronary events in due course of time. So compliance is very important and it's the biggest problem in our society. This compliance problem is because of poor patient adherence to the medications, and also due to complex prescribing of multiple medications by us. As the number of medications increases, the compliance sharply decreases. And some people, it's also related to lack of physician and patient rapport or trust, and failure of from our part to communicate to the importance of the continuing therapy in all these patients. Many of our patients who undergo angioplasty and stenting, despite advising them to not to stop the medication for lifelong, many of them stop medications after 1 month or at least after 1 year. So there arises the concept of polypill, which to improve the compliance of medications in such kind of patients. This pure study was published in Lancet 2011, which showed that after an coronary event or stroke, after 5 years, only 25% were taking antiplatelet drugs, and only 17% were taking beta blockers, 20% were taking angiotensin receptor blockers, and only 15% were taking statins. We all know that there are several risk factors for coronary disease, like modifiable risk factors and non-modifiable risk factors. This intra-arc study was a large trial which was done to find out the most important risk factor for the first episode of myocardial infarction. This was done across many countries, and many variables have been noted, many risk factors have been noted to which cause acute myocardial infarction, like hypertension, diabetes, smoking. If multiple risk factors are there, the chances of having coronary events or stroke increases sharply. So MI risk increases by 26 times when all these 9 risk factors are present. So we need to reduce the risk factor of developing coronary events or stroke by reducing these individual risk factors like blood pressure, dyslipidemia, and platelet aggregation, especially with those who are at risk of developing all these events. Suppose if we reduce blood pressure by 10% and reduce total cholesterol by 10%, the reduction in coronary diseases is not equal to 20%, it is 45%. So there is a cumulative risk reduction with combination therapy. Dr. Salim Yusuf published this article in Lancet 2002, where if you combine all these medications like aspirin, beta blockers, lipid lowering agents, AC inhibitors, which take care of hypertension, dyslipidemia at various levels, there will be a total combined effect of 75% risk reduction. Professor Nicholas Ward published a similar article in British Medical Journal 2003. He did a meta-analysis. Suppose if you give statin in the form of atorvastatin 10 mg or simvastatin 40 mg, there will be a reduction of around 60 milligram of LDL cholesterol, which will translate into 60% reduction of the ischemic heart disease event and 17% reduction of the stroke event. Suppose if you combine 3 blood pressure lowering medications like thiazides, beta blockers and AC inhibitors in half doses like ramipril 2.5 mg or atenolol 25 mg and hydrochlorothiazide, there will be an average reduction of the BP by 11 mm of diastolic, which will translate into 46% reduction of the ischemic heart disease event and 63% reduction in the stroke event. Similarly, by reducing homocysteine and reducing platelet aggregation by aspirin 75 mg, both CAD and stroke reduction is achieved. So, he concluded that by combining all these medications, we can reduce the risk of development of coronary disease event and stroke by 80%. So, there about the concept of polypill and Cadila Pharmaceuticals introduced this first polypill in the which underwent extensive trial in India. In 2009, tips on study or results was published in the Journal of Lancet Journal. And in 2010, bioavailability studies were published in American Journal of Cardiovascular Drugs. And in 2010, Polycap was launched in Indian market, and we are continuously using over the last 4 years. And in 2011, TIPS 2 clinical trial was completed, which included patients with proven coronary disease or cardiovascular disease. And these studies were published in Circulation Cardiovascular Quality Outcomes Journal. And later on, TIPS 3 trial was commenced. Now it is patented in the UK and New Zealand. Basically, Polycap is a capsule with a hard gelatin capsule. It contains 3 antihypertensive drugs. Hydrochlorothiazide 12.5 mg, which is a diuretic. Atenolol 50 mg is a beta blocker, and ramipril 5 mg, which is an AC inhibitor. And it also contains a cholesterol lowering drug, simvastatin, for LDL lowering, that is at 20 mg dosage, and antiplatelet drug aspirin at 100 mg. This tablet will be separate inside that capsule. It's enteric coated. So after this trial, TIPS trial, this bioavailability study was carried out, and it was shown that bioavailability of individual drugs like aspirin, ramipril, simvastatin, atenolol, and hydrochlorothiazide was similar to the bioavailability which is available in Polycap, the polypill. So bioavailability was maintained, and there were no pharmacokinetic interactions between the drugs. So this TIPS trial, the Indian Polycap study, was published in Lancet 2009. It was a double-blind and randomized trial which compared the efficacy of and safety of Polycap with 8 other formulations of individual drugs. And the treatment was given for 12 weeks. Basically, its impact on heart rate, blood pressure, lipids, and antiplatelet effects with urinary thromboxane was measured, and safety and tolerability was also assessed. So the primary objective of the study was to know whether it is effective in reducing BP as compared with individual components like hydrochlorothiazide, atenolol, and ramipril. if there is any interaction if you combine all these drugs in one capsule, and whether it is effective in reducing the heart rate when compared to atenolol alone, and whether it is effective in modifying lipids as compared to simvastatin alone, and in suppressing urinary thromboxane A2 as compared to aspirin alone. And they also studied the adverse events compared with the equivalent components. So this study was conducted in 50 centers in India and coordinated at St. John's Medical College, Bangalore. The basic inclusion criteria was age between 45 to 80 years, and the patients had at least one cardiovascular risk factors like hypertension, diabetes mellitus, smoking, raised waist hip ratio, and abnormal lipids. So about 63% were hypertensives and around 33% were diabetics. So 2000 patients were divided into two arms. 400 patients received Polycap, and there were 8 other comparator groups of 200 patients each. 200 patients received only aspirin, 200 patients received only thiazide, 200 patients received thiazide plus ramipril, 200 patients received thiazide plus atenolol, and another 200 patients received ramipril plus atenolol, aspirin, like that. There were 8 comparator groups. So the average age was around 54 years, and average heart rate was around 80, and average systolic diastolic blood pressure was around 134 by 85, and average LDL cholesterol was 117. This which is seen in even a normal population. So the results were published. Polycap resulted in systolic blood pressure lowering by 7 mm of mercury, and systolic and diastolic around 5 mm of mercury, which is better than other 1 or 2 BP lowering drugs, and is comparable with all the 3 BP lowering drugs. So on an average there was a reduction of 7 by 5 mm of mercury BP reduction with Polycap. And heart rate reduction was similar in atenolol group versus Polycap group. There was on an average reduction of only 7 beats per minute heart rate. And cholesterol reduction was also comparable. Simvastatin reduced by 27%, Polycap reduced by 23%. And aspirin effect in Polycap compared to separate aspirin was similar. And side effect parameters were studied like cough, fatigue, bradycardia, potassium levels, and LFT. They were all similar in Polycap versus other groups. And the reason for drug discontinuation is also similar in both the groups. There were not many dropouts. So, based on the previous meta-analysis, they estimated that this Polycap lowers LDL cholesterol, which will translate into 27% reduction in the coronary heart disease risk and 8% reduction in stroke risk. And blood pressure reduction will translate into 24% reduction in coronary heart disease event and 33% reduction in stroke. And using aspirin in this combination will further reduce CHD risk by 32% and stroke risk by 16%. So they concluded that overall Polycap given in individuals after the age of 45 to 80 years having one or the other risk factors will reduce the risk of coronary heart disease by 62% and stroke risk by 48%. So after this, they published a TIPS-2 study, Indian Polycap study. Basically, they took around 518 patients with previous vascular disease or diabetes mellitus. They assigned 2 groups. One is single strength Polycap and compared to double strength Polycap for BD dosage. They studied the reduction of BP and LDL compared to the normal dosage, and they also studied the tolerability in both the arms. So obviously there was a more BP reduction in double dose and more LDL reduction in double dose, which they concluded that it will translate into a more reduction in the risk of CHD and stroke. So as I said, TIPS trial, which included single dose Polycap, will result in the estimated risk reduction of 62% reduction in CHD risk and 48% reduction in the stroke risk. So if you give 2 doses, if the patient tolerates, it will translate into 69% reduction in coronary heart disease and for 57% reduction in the stroke risk. So they concluded that there is a potential for reduction of CVD events by using this Polycap either in a single dose or double dose, and it's a good therapeutic option for high risk cardiovascular disease patients and as well as for secondary prevention. And the dosing schedule is also easy. Patient has to take once daily, and the dosage is also easy to titrate. Either if the patient tolerates single capsule, we can titrate it to double dose if the heart rate and the blood pressure permits and there are no side effects. So this is ideal for patients with established coronary artery disease, with hypertension, dyslipidemia or both, pre-existing heart disease, stroke patients, peripheral vascular disease patients and diabetes patients, and even those without pre-existing disease who are at risk of developing CAD. After these trials, many companies have come with polypill with various combinations, and several results were published both in primary prevention as well as secondary prevention. I am not going into the details of this, but all these trials have concluded that polypill is an effective therapy in reducing the coronary and stroke events, and it is easily tolerated. So to conclude my talk, coronary artery disease and stroke are the biggest killers despite advancing the diagnosis and prevention. So early recognition and aggressive control of these risk factors are very important. And the Polycap is well tolerated and controls multiple risk factors with a single drug. Thank you.